HorseWyse magazine in spring 2016, a young lady wrote in and asked some questions about starting her first horse, and she was having a little trouble bridling the horse. Bridling of horses is something that is really important because you're dealing with so many sensitive areas of the horse. You've got their mouth, their ears, their eyes. You don't want to hurt any of those, and you don't want to scare the horse, especially when you're first starting them under saddle. I was talking to her about what a mouthing bridle looks like, a mouthing bit, and this is my mouthing bit that I use when I first start horses. It's got a few little features about it that help the horses when you first start them. For starters, it's got the long bars, like an FM snaffle. That means that the bit can't pull through their mouth, and it ensures that they don't get a fright and they don't get hurt when they first have a bridle on. The other thing you'll notice about it is it's got these little players, these little keys here. The idea behind them is when you put them in the horse's mouth, they play with them, and it keeps their mouth soft, makes them salivate, so the horse is comfortable while it's wearing a bridle. For anyone starting a horse, I recommend that you don't leave any form of bit on too long, even if it is one like this. When it comes to bridling the horse, and this young lady was having some trouble with her horse accepting the bridle, and I wondered whether it had a little bit to do with how she was bridling the horse. When you are bridling your horse, you always want to make sure you have hold of them. So note, even though I'm taking this halter off, I've put the reins around Charlotte's neck so that if Charlotte goes to leave, I actually still have hold of her. Now what I do is I set my bridle so it's ready to go onto the horse. So, and I'll bring it around and over her face. Okay, now everything is done gently and smoothly, in no rush. Now I will step across and switch hands, and I will open up the bit under her mouth, and I will gently use my thumb on the bars of her mouth where there's no teeth to encourage her to open her mouth and accept the bridle. As you can see, she's quite happy to have the bit there. Now you put it over their ear, one ear at a time. And you can see then Charlotte had a little reaction to the bridle. Okay, that's okay, you know. That's all right. I didn't make a fuss about it. I didn't get upset about it. But what I would do, and Charlotte is a young mare, so you sort of expect the odd little bit of behaviour like that. If I was working with this mare for the first couple of times and she hadn't been bridled before, I would redo it again. I want this mare to have a positive experience about bridling. I don't want her to get upset about having the bridle on. I want her to be happy. I don't mind that she's reached around towards me. At least she's not trying to get away from me. Okay, that was much better. There's my release. She just went, oh, there was no need to have that heart attack. Nothing bad happened to me. I was just a bridle putting on. Now when you're taking the bridle off, it's exactly the reverse procedure. Reins around the neck, undo the throat latch, one ear at a time, and then gently lower the bridle out of her mouth. We have a couple of horses here that will actually hold the bit in their teeth and play with it. I never discourage it. I never pull the bit out of their mouth because it's just a little thing they have where they like to play with it in their teeth as they let it go. That's a happy horse for me. So that's just a little bit on bridling to help answer the questions that was in the question that was in the magazine.